Showtime. Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock100 and welcome back to more of Pokemon Ultra Sun. Last time, we went around Melee Island and found out some things that we couldn't do from before when we smashed rocks with Tauros' skull. This time, we're going to be doing something a little different this time around. But before we go any further, I got a couple people complaining that I never talked about the evolution of our starter Pokemon. Honestly, not a whole lot changes, but I'll be the good neighbor and talk about them, shall we? First up, Darnix! Not a whole lot really changes of how it is from Rowlet into this Pokemon, but it becomes more balanced out in terms of its stat-wise. But this will be the evolution phase of when things would really start changing directions. Not only will this thing start learning some more powerful grass and flying type moves on the fly, but also many other aspects as well. Honestly, you could do worse with this Pokemon, but like I said, it's basically a more powerful Rowlet, but give it time. Torracat, the evolution of Litten. Same thing as from before. It becomes a very good mixed attacker and one of the fastest Pokemon that you'll see him for a while. And like with Dartrix, this is when Torracat will start learning some really good moves on the fly. If you are looking for a very good Pokemon that knows how to get the job done and will pretty much just hurt regardless of what move you get it, Torracat is that next step forward. Brionne is awesome. I used it in my Moon Let's Play, and it served me well. This remains one of the steadier, bulkier water types, and when used correctly, this thing is really good for what it does. This is when it'll start learning some more fairy type moves. Plus, it eventually gets any type attack bonus. Nothing to hate on that. Liquid Voice is still probably one of the most interesting signature abilities I've seen, but let's face it, you're better off with Torrent at this point. It's not bad, I just kind of see it as a bit more situational. But other than that, Brionne is a more powerful Popplio, and nothing else can come by that. I must have gotten rid of it. Okay, so there is actually something that I want to quickly point out to you guys, and this is probably something that you may want to consider doing. I like doing this from before, but I want to give full attention to the amazing group that is IGN. IGN has went out of their way to give us a little something special that I want to show you guys right now. You see this in a QR code before you? This particular QR code belongs to Rowlet. You may want to consider remembering this. Or better yet, I'll post a link in the description below, and it'll take you straight towards it for where you will find this. If you open your pause menu and come into this page, you will see this, a QR scanner. You touch that, you can now see that we can now potentially scan QR codes. So, if I were to aim it at Yungus right here, we have him scan an official QR code. By scanning 10 of these, you'll get 100 points. Each time it's worth 10 points each. One big thing I want to point out. It will not work if a Pokemon has already been used, and I think... So yeah, best way how to do this, just scan him the starter Pokemon once a day, then choose a random QR code on your choice. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep scanning these QR codes, and then I will meet you guys at the end once and if we hit 100 points. So, be right back. So now we're on code number 10. Yeah, I pretty much just spoiled the Pokemon that you'll be seeing in their final evolution, did I? Okay. So now, you can officially use it for what is known as the Island Scan. By holding down the X button, and hold down the R button, we're being scanned. So, might as well have some fun. Who's that Pokemon? We have a Pokemon that is officially waiting for us at his Secret Word Cave. This is a location that we can now have access to. You will have 1 hour to track down this Pokemon, catch it, do as you wish with it. I'm just gonna come out and say this. I have been waiting to talk about this. I don't know why I didn't talk much about it in my Moon Let's Play, but I guess, to be fair, it seemed kind of pointless, I guess. So at the Seaward Cave, gotta walk around a little bit. So like I said, you will have 1 hour to find this Pokemon, and 1 hour only. So I am hoping that I will be able to find the right Pokemon that we're looking for out here. I should take this time to mention, you will not be able to get this Pokemon into your Pokédex as it is not existent. And it seems like it's not wanting to show up. It's nice that it is having that Cloud 9. Oh, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever really explored this place. So... hallelujah to the extreme! We have found it! Squirtle! A classic water starter. It has some of the best Vulcan that you want to find, and even better than Empoleon, somehow. But in all seriousness, everybody's gotta know Squirtle. I mean, it's Squirtle. If you really don't want one, you may want to consider doing this. I should take this time to point out then that Pokemon such as these, through Island Scan, will be given a very special move that it can be learned from breeding. Squirtle's case would be Aqua Jet. A physically offensive water-type move that is the equivalent to that of Quick Attack. Not a bad Pokemon to have with such a great move because of how much of a sluggish it is because, well, look at it. It will be locked in and being held at level 12, and it will be found only in Seaward Cave on Mondays. Squirtle is a Pokemon? Great Pokemon to say the least. Can't say anything bad about it. At least how could I, because it's one of my absolute favorite starters out there. It's my personal favorite Gen 1 starter right there and then. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3. The Tackle, Withdraw, Water Gun, and Aqua Jet. Those are some fighting Pokemon. moves you have there. There we go. Then again, starter Pokemon are kind of hard to catch. So be mindful on that little task at hand. So try it again. Third time's the charm. So, give a Squirtle nickname? Sure. I will name you Tanker. And let's look more about Tanker's summary himself, shall we? Torrent, very nice. Oh. Ooh. That is actually pretty good. I like that. Mischievous. Nice. Well, I'm just gonna come out and say this. Squirtle is officially a part of my team! And as much as it really pained me to say it, oh, what am I kidding? Ladybug, get out of here. Your time for being a tank is done. Trace of the Pokemon picked up by the island scan has disappeared. The island scan ended. Whew. I should probably take this time to mention that since it'll be locked on this level, at level 12, it will take a little bit of some time to level it up. But what you can do is give it a... It's a key item, right? Yes. You could turn on the experience share whenever you want, and you can level up your Pokemon with relative ease. Might not be a bad idea to do it if you need to. In fact, later on, I'll probably be doing a little bit of some training with our tanker right here. But we have a little bit more of this area for us to explore, because I never explored this place, because I thought that there would be some locations that would be locked in and by certain obstacles along the way. So yeah, I will definitely be doing some training with our little buddy here. So, let's see what else we can find around here. Never melt ice. That's a very good item. It boosts the power of ice type moves. We haven't seen any ice types yet. But they will become pretty relevant for some that we'll be seeing later on. Is this another case scenario where I accidentally forgot to talk about a certain Pokemon out here? Or worse? It totally is, isn't it? Actually, let me look, because I actually have my list right here. Well, I did it again. Oops. Alright, come on. Make your debut in your battle and be something to remember by. And I guess I might as well take back up what I said. We can actually find an Ice-type Pokemon right off the bat. If you want an Ice-type, here you go. Hey. Oh, forward. And again... wouldn't it come in good use? And ha ha ha! Tanker isn't called Tanker for nothing. Maybe I should probably turn off my experience share, so I can at least give Tanker some time to shine. Oh, wow. I guess it's more of a glass cannon at this point. Please don't. Thank you. Did not want to deal with any of that, so. Once again, just like with Verdant Cavern, I will talk about these Pokemon later on, maybe in the next episode. And yes, I am going to get rid of Withdrawal for Bubble. A special offensive water type move that may potentially lower your opponent's speed. Good choice. Oh! Hi! Well, got an evolution. That's funny. Okay. So that happened. Let's see what else I can do. I can break if I wanted, which is not a bad move for it. Could definitely come to some good use, I guess, some of those later types. But we'll see. We've got plenty more of this place to explore. Guess I really should think before I go any further, because I could have sworn that some of this location isn't accessible until we have a certain Pokemon to aid us. Oh, you know what? Now this makes sense. Oh, Lula! Such a beautiful night, isn't it? Would you like to see something fantastic? Then come this way. Better if you can crouch down, too. See that? What do you think that is? The correct answer is that the light of the winged fish Pokemon Finian. They store up light from the sun during the day, then let their tail fin patterns all glow at night. Want to see them again ever? Feel free to stop by. I can make any night a special night. Oh, hello. There's a bottle on the ground with a faded looking letter inside of it. To the person who finds this letter. If you are reading this letter, please find a way to deliver it to my little sister. She lives in Iki Town on Mele Mele Island. This place where I am now is really weird and looks unbelievable. But all of the people here have been really nice, so I'm okay. I hope I'll see you again someday. Be safe. Your big brother. Kinda gives us a bit of an excuse to head back, huh? Hey. Do I don't have any more repels, do I? Well, this is awkward. Well, note to self, bring more repels for late. Really? That's what you're gonna intimidate me with? A deli bird? Well, I'll be talking about you later, and I'm gonna warn you right now. I am not showing you any mercy. I guess while I'm making my way back to... Excuse me? I guess on our way back, I'll go ahead and now talk about the Pokemon that you can find through the island scanner depending on the day. So since I was doing this on Monday, Squirtle's now pretty much out of the question, but from Sunday to Saturday, let's take a look at some of these Pokemon and what Pokemon did, what moves they will have, and how good they are. On Sunday, I found on Route 3, Charmander! Everyone knows it. It's a pure fire type, it'll eventually become a part flying type, yada yada yada, but it's one of the most overrated Pokemon of all time. You get the gist. But, what's really interesting about this particular Charmander, it will know a breeding move of Counter. Meaning that if it gets hit by a physically offensive move and lives, it will actually deal double the damage. Not bad for this particular Pokemon, especially since we'll be seeing a lot of Pokemon that actually have advantage against that later on. If you want one, you can only do this on Sundays. So, just be mindful of the fact that you're going to be dealing with a few Pokemon that will have the advantage over you as time goes on. It's not a bad Pokemon. In fact, a lot of people use it and know it, so, yay. On Tuesdays at 10 Carrot Hill, found at level 14, we will find Onix, a rock and ground type classic. I actually have a bit of a soft spot for this particular Onix. Why? Well, considering the fact that is a really good in double battles, with that egg move that it'll learn of Rotortiller, which helps out with grass type moves and double battles. This could be a very good aid. The only real gripe is that that's all this Pokemon really has with that particular move. So, if you want one, this is the perfect one that you want to use for double battles. Nothing else. It doesn't have a lot of bulk. In fact, when it comes to the bulk of this thing, it doesn't exaggerate. Base 160 with its defense stat, what's not to hate? Oh, right. Practically everywhere else. Now, it does have some major weaknesses, like to that of water and grass. But that's kind of bit of an understatement, since I actually personally would recommend having a really good rock type for what's to come. Heck, even having a really good ground type Pokemon in your team will definitely do you some wonders as well. So, having a Pokemon like this, and that's powerful through island scans, go for it. On Wednesday at Hellier Bay, we haven't gotten way to access this Pokemon, at least not yet, but I'll still talk about this Pokemon if you're already ahead of me. Horsey! Once again, a pure water type classic. This is probably one of the most balanced out on the water type Pokemon that you will find on Wednesdays. It'll be at level 18, but what's really cool is that it'll be given Dragon Breath, a special offensive dragon type move that may have a chance of paralyzing your opponent. You cannot say that this is not a good Pokemon to use. Like with Onix, which I never really talked about, to get it to its final evolution, you will have to trade it to someone else, but it also has to have an item called the Dragon Scale. You won't be seeing that for quite a while. So if you manage to get on one, congratulations. You will have one of the best water dragon types in the game. Actually, probably the only real water dragon type that you'll be finding for quite a while. But unfortunately, as a Kingdra, it's very balanced. But that's kind of all it's really ever going for. It used to have one weakness of Dragon, but thanks to Gen 6, it now has Fairy for its weakness. Not bad, but it's definitely something to take note on. On Thursdays on Howley City at level 9, we will have Scatterbug, a pure bug-type Pokemon from Gen 6, and this is a very interesting Pokemon. Just take this from me, please don't get this thing with Friend Guard, except if you're using it for double battles. But other than that, this is a Pokemon that really knows how to get the job done. Shield Dust or Compound Eyes are great, but what really makes this thing stand out is the fact that when it evolves later on into Vivillon, it will actually know some pretty good bug-type moves along the way. Plus, with that silver powder that was collected earlier, well, can't really say a lot of bad things about it, except the fact that it's rather sluggish, but leveling up will be pretty easy. We're almost there, but I'm definitely saying some of the best ones at this point. On Route 2 at level 10, on Fridays, Bulbasaur. Bet you wonder where this guy was looking at. Poison Grass, that's another classic. Specialized in special attack and special defense. Very well balanced, really good Pokemon, very easy to use. What's really nice is that it is given Leech Seed for its move, a move that it knows naturally. A little bit unusual, but it's not bad. It just saps away a bit of your opponent's HP, and you regain that HP in the process at the end of each turn. Having it on your team at this point in the game might not be a bad idea. Unfortunately, kind of like how it is from Gen 2, it's outclassed and it definitely has some weaknesses in later bosses. So, if you want one, I definitely would recommend Bulbasaur, but only when you're going to be using it for some situational battles. It's a great Pokemon, but unfortunately some of the things that comes in later on kind of hold it back. And last, at Howley Cemetery at level 9, Saturdays, definitely a good choice for this, Litwick. A ghost fire type that is probably one of, if not the best ghost types to go for in the entirety of the game. It'll eventually become one of the best special offensive Pokemon, and it has some of the best move pools that you could possibly find. Flame Bond is probably going to be the better ability to go for, unless if you can successfully get it with Infiltrator. But Flash Fire pretty much just boosts his special attack stat as it is. But base 65 as it is, it's not bad. What hinders it is that it has a good number of weaknesses, and the fact that it is rather sluggish. So you're kind of held back from its weaknesses, and the fact that it is very slow, about as fast as a Caterpie. I think you might be seeing where we're going with this. All in all, it is a very good Pokemon. You'll need a Dusk Stone for it to be given its final evolution, but if you can get that, great Pokemon. So, now that we've gotten that, we now have to come back to Icky Town and potentially find the Pokemon, not the Pokemon, but the person that is asking about a message in a bottle. This will be the last thing that we'll do for this episode, but then we'll call quits. And I think it's a oh yes, here we go. But that can't be. It was from an older brother? Truly? It's been so many years since he disappeared, but at least now I know that he was alright. Even if he was far away from me, knowing that he was happy is enough for me. Thank you for telling me what you found. I hope this may repay you in some small way. It was my most precious treasure as a child. The sand I gathered with my brother. Stardust! And if I could ask just one more favor. If you do happen to find anything else like that letter again, please do deliver it. It might just be an irreplaceable treasure for that person, you see. It hasn't been for me. Aha. Gotta try my best not to remember that because, well, let's face it. Some of the things that happens through this game can kind of slip my mind. So, I'm just gonna do one last look around. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, we never been inside this house yet. Whoa. You know the festival here in Ikitown? Well, some years there are no 11-year-old kids setting out to hold a sacred battle for us. Those years, Allah gets to take part in, we dedicate a bout of sacred Alolan Sumo to the Guardian instead. That Allah, he's too soft, that young Hao. When Hao was just a little thing, he once saw Allah in a real furry and old Allah face, and it was so terrible, and that the boy burst into tears. Allah couldn't do a thing to console him. I think he's been holding something of himself back in front of Hao ever since that day. Kahuna Allah is real strict when it comes to his training. Oh, not in training for Pokemon battles or anything. I'm talking about his sumo training. Nothing out here? Okay. It's a chair made for traditional folk craft passed down in Alola since days of old. Alola, a little sea kid's a Pokemon full of energy. It's a Slowpoke. Is there anything out here? Doesn't look like it. You don't say. Well, this was actually kind of a letdown. Because I could have sworn that there was something that was in this place and that might have been worth our time, but... oh, well. Not like it didn't matter or anything, but... I guess with all that said and done, I think it's about time we go ahead and end things off from right here. So next time, let's see here. It was Photo Club. If I remember correctly, that's out at Hau'oli? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so with that, we got our objective. Next time, we head on for Hau'oli City and figure out what we're going to do next, alright? See you guys then.